Hey everyone, this is Crypto Ice again, back again for my second video, my top reasons to invest in cryptocurrency. And in the last video, I talked about inflation and how cryptocurrency can be a hedge against that risk. Well, in this video, I want to talk about institutional investors. And, at this point, you're probably wondering, is this cryptocurrency market legit or a scam? It sounds like so foreign to me, right? Kind of like the internet. When the internet first came out, there was people that thought it was, funny or laughed at it. They did not understand the technology, and this happens a lot, whether it be email, internet. Until things become mainstream, they're just weird, right? And so you have to decide, can I handle a little weirdness until it becomes mainstream, or do I need to wait until everybody says it's okay and then I can dip my foot in the pool? Me, I kind of beat to my own drum that way. I have no problem sticking out a little bit as far as like if I believe in something, truly believe in something. I don't really care if everyone else believes it or sees it, if it's something I believe in. So my hope is that I can just share my insights and then let you decide for yourself. At least you're educated on something maybe you didn't know before. So, one of the most compelling ways that I knew that this space, this cryptocurrency space, was legit and is here to stay, is because of the major world players and government players that just told me that these people are in the know. They know things that I don't know and that you don't know, right? So again, following the smart money, right? I'll talk about that in a minute. But here, let me just explain. Okay, I got into the market in July of 2018. Very much a speculative market. They call it the wild, wild west because it's young, it's wild, it's price volatility up and down. The last bull run was in the end of 2017, and Bitcoin went up to like 20K. People FOMO'd in. FOMO is a word like fear of missing out. People heard about it, bought in, and then a lot of them got burned because they didn't know what they invested in. And again, that's part of why I'm doing this, is when this hits, when cryptocurrency becomes a thing and people just say, throw their money into it, it's a very dangerous thing, right? You don't know what you're investing in. You just know everyone's doing it, and then before you know it, the price goes down and you don't know what you hold, so you get scared and you pull out. That's how people get wrecked. Now, if you actually take the time to learn the market, right, and I've had the opportunity to do that the last 2 years, I feel like that's a real advantage. And so yeah, we've been in a bear market since, the first part of 2018. So we're talking well over 2 years where I've just seen infrastructure being built. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. The first thing, New York Stock Exchange has a parent company called ICE, Intercontinental Exchange. Okay, they pretty much own ICE. I own the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, so they have a crypto exchange called Bakkt, and they've thrown millions and millions of dollars into this. And I'm just thinking to myself, why would the New York Stock Exchange parent company throw millions of dollars in this if they didn't know that this was going to work out? And same thing with Fidelity, a household name, throwing millions and millions of dollars into blockchain, cryptocurrency, this new digital world. They have an exchange for institutional investors only at this time, but eventually will open up to you and I. So TDameritrade, Bank of America, we got JPMorgan, we got Google, Facebook. That was the big thing in 2019. Facebook came out and said they were going to have their own coin, okay? And they got kind of bogged down by the regulators, so not so fast. But it brought everyone's awareness to another level of Facebook is getting in the game, Google's getting in the game, Amazon's getting in the game. Think of any major player in the world, and they're involved in some way in blockchain and cryptocurrency, this digital world. I challenge you on that. If you can tell me big players that are not involved, there probably is some, but I want you to challenge me on this, okay? Don't just take it as truth. I'm telling you what I've seen. More and more big players are getting involved in this every day. And so the real question for me is following the smart money, right? It's not what they say. It's what they do that matters. It's where they put their money that matters. So let me give you an example. JPMorgan Chase, one of the largest banks in the U.S. The CEO is Dimon. And he's been saying for years, Bitcoin is a fraud. This is not going to end well. Someone's going to get killed. This is going to disappear and go away. Well, what do you know? Back in 2018, he's still kind of saying these things. And at the same time, JPMorgan Chase is buying Bitcoin on the down low. So here you have it, talking your book, saying, oh, Bitcoin is a fraud. If I find any of my people that work for me trading cryptocurrency, I will fire them, just the whole 9 yards. And then behind the scenes, he knows that the market is very young and immature and is going to have a significant sell-off because he's a very influential person, and then he buys the dip. It's not honest, but it's a perfectly legal strategy, but very dishonest, right, in my opinion. But that's not the point. The point is you either follow the smart money and learn what they are doing, or sadly, like 2008, the last crash, the wealthy people of the world do their thing and benefit from things, and the rest of us just kind of get left in the dust, right? Well, I don't want that this time. I want to know what they're doing, and I want to put my money where their money is. I'm going to stack my pennies against their dollars, and so bringing you to current this week, May 12th, JPMorgan Chase, the CEO, Dimon, they are offering banking services to crypto exchanges, 2 of them right now, Coinbase and Gemini. So this is full circle, right? He goes from Bitcoin is a fraud, cryptocurrency is a fraud, to now he's offering banking services to crypto exchanges. Now he has his own coin called the JPMorgan coin, So it's not what they say, it's what they do that legitimizes this market and tells you that this is not going away. So that's one example. Let me give you another one. Just this last week, what's his name? Paul Tudor Jones, a legend in the investment industry. He came out and said that he is buying Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a hedge against inflation, what I talked about in my last video. So as my mentor, Brad Kimes, tells me often, you may not believe me when I say it, but you might want to believe Paul Tudor Jones when he says it. And so that's huge. Paul Tudor Jones says this is like the fastest horse in this current environment. So you're going to see more and more of these big players entering this market. And only in a day of YouTube is a little guy like me able to be involved in this space with people like, Jamie Dimon and Paul Tudor Jones, and to be right there with them. It's unbelievable, right? I'm stacking my pennies against their dollars. And so let me give you one more example. Warren Buffett, right? Needs no introduction, one of the best investors of all time. What is he doing with his cash right now? There was an article not long ago that he has $100+ million just sitting on the sidelines. again, it's not what they say, it's what they do that matters. When you see Warren Buffett with $100+ million sitting on the sidelines, that tells me that he's waiting for an opportunity. That he he pulled his money out of the airline industry recently, and it should. I'm not trying to be a gloom and doom guy here. I'm just saying, like, I believe that we have unbelievable opportunities in front of us financially. If we're able to keep our eyes open to the opportunities, perhaps we can transition into this new digital world without more suffering that is needed. Okay, and so last thing, talking about government influence. Okay, so since I came into the space, I've watched the Treasury Secretary talk about digital currencies. I've watched the SEC chairman, Jay Clayton, talk about digitization is here in congressional hearings. I've watched the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, working closely about cryptocurrencies and blockchain. We've watched South Korea, their government is backing like cryptocurrencies. Like, we're seeing it all over the world, governments getting involved. And how you know this is coming is you have the China government threatening to come out with the digital yuan, and which we don't want. I don't want China to dominate the world. The U.S. has their digital dollar that they've presented to Congress and talked about it recently to help with stimulus checks. This is coming to the surface, and so we kind of have like an arms race with the cryptocurrencies. China, and we got the U.S., and everyone's positioning themselves to get what's called central bank digital currencies. You're going to hear this word in the next year. All these central banks coming out with their own currencies. And really it's about moving money the way we move information. You remember we had the Internet of Information in the 90s. We can actually get information anywhere in the world like that. Well, tell me why we can't do that with our money. Well, that's what's coming. This is called the Internet of Value. Moving money like we do information now. And, at the speed of light, at little cost. It's going to change the world. And so it's already built. The technology's already here. It's getting implemented little by little. And so just want to state that this is all very exciting. And again, I'm not expecting you to take my word for it. In the description below, I'm going to put sources and articles that back up a lot of the things that I say so that you can actually research it and start checking this out for yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's about what you believe based off of facts and research that you do. I am a big fan of that, and I don't want to be someone that's trying to steer you one way or another. I'm just telling you what I know to be true for myself. And I just care about my friends too much to not talk about what I know. And I want to help. Just from an education standpoint, that's it. Because, I wish someone would have helped me in the 2008 crisis and told me some things that I had to learn the hard way. And anyway, I thank you. Again, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research, and look forward to talking again soon. Thanks.